Hello. In this section, I would like to talk about what we mean by energy. Energy means different things to different people. If you look at the definition in the Webster Dictionary, they talk about energy as a vigor, as a force, as a power. They mean all the same thing. Many people, when talk about the nuclear energy or nuclear power, they don't mean they mean the same thing. To us, to scientists and to physicists, the energy has only one meaning, and so we have to be very careful of how to define it. Also, I'd like to talk about some of the classification and the forms that energy can have. Energy is something that we need to do something with. If we want to do anything, we need energy. So in a way, we can define it as a capacity to do work, any kind of work. If we would like to heat a house, we need energy. If I want to run a car, I need energy. So the definition, the classical definition of energy is capacity to do work. Capacity to do work does not necessarily mean we are doing work. A book sitting on a shelf has a capacity to do work, for example, by dropping off of the shelf. But as it's sitting over there, it doesn't do any work, but still has the energy. Same is a gallon of gasoline sitting in your gas tank. It has a capacity to make the car run, but as long as it is sitting in the gas tank, it has the energy, but it has not performed work. So the key word is the capacity to do something. Energy can be classified in different ways. We can define energy as where the source is. It is coming from the sun. Is it the sun base? Is it coming from the earth? It's the earth base, or due to the gravitational force field between the different, big bodies. The sun-based energies, for example, are the solar, wind, waves. All of them are sun-based. If there was no sun, we would not have any, wind or the waves, etc. Earth-based are pretty much is the geothermal energy and nuclear energy. The source of energies are based inside the earth. And finally, the gravity would be the gravitational force field between the earth, sun, and the moon. Tides are a form of energy which is based on the gravity. Energy can also be divided in forms of the structures. It could be microscopic or macroscopic form of the energy. The energy which causes, the electrons, to orbit the nuclei, and the energy trapped in the nuclear, or in the macroscopic form that we use it in our daily activities. Energy can be classified in the renewable or non-renewable. Whether it's something renewable or non-renewable depends on how fast these resources are being replenished. Fossil fuel could be renewable if you're talking about 500 million years. Solar is renewable all the time because every day you will have the source of energy. Energy can be divided into its use. It can be solar, mechanical, chemical, electrical, and so on and so forth. How we use the energy. Finally, energy can be form of primary or secondary. Primary form of energies are the energies that directly can be used with relative ease. Fossil fuels is a primary form of energy. All you need is a match to start, a fire with a fossil fuel. Solar, which could be wind, hydro, and biomass, also part of solar. This can be used, very, directly. Solar heat can be used, to heat our house. And so these are called primary source of energy. So are tides, geothermal, and nuclear. Secondary source of energy, on the other hand, are the energies that are not readily available. We have to make them from the primary source of energy. A town gas, or maybe gasoline, they're not primary. You cannot dig in some place and get the gasoline out. gasoline is coming from the refining of the petroleum, or for example from some processes done on the coal. So is other forms of energy like alcohol, synfuel. These are not available, but you can use the biomass to produce alcohol. Hydrogen is not a form of energy. You cannot dig in some place and get the hydrogen to use. However, the hydrogen is trapped in the molecules of the water in the oceans. I can use the water to electrolyze and separate it into hydrogen and oxygen and use the hydrogen. Also, I can use hydrogen from fossil fuel like methane. Methane is made of 1 carbon and 4 hydrogen atom. As soon as I can strip off the carbon, then I'm left with the hydrogen. Electricity is another secondary form of energy, the most important one. You can produce electricity from any of the primary forms of energy that we have. The question that often rises is that how does technology help us in finding the new source of energy and how to consume the energy? There are two kinds of technology options we have. We have a supply side management and we have demand side management. The supply side management are the strategies or technologies that they are providing additional supply of energy. For example, we can use horizontal drilling. Horizontal drilling has enabled us to dig in the places that we could not have dug before, even a couple of decades ago. So with the horizontal drilling, now we can make a lot of more oil available to us than it used to be. So tar sands, shale oil and shale gas is directly taking advantage of this new technology. Satellite mapping allows us better identification of location, geological location, and increasing the chance of finding new resources. We find oil and other resources at the places that, because of the lack of technology, we could not have found, 100 years ago. Demand side management are those technologies that reducing the demand. Those are technologies that help us to increase our energy efficiency. By using energy efficiency, for the same amount of the energy, we can do more work. We can do more. That means we will need less energy, to meet our demands. Variable pricing are all those technologies that by changing the pricing structure, I can shift the demand from the time that the demand is high, like in the middle of the day, to the time that the demand is low, like in the middle of the night. By doing that, I can allow the same amount of energy to be used more effectively.